Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Darren Bucare.
Yes, that's
And
me.
I am Raven Firewalker.
Ah, Raven Firewalker. Welcome. Well met, sir. Well met. Hail and welcome. We have many fine wares here at the town armory for you to choose from. If you'd like to buy a healing potion, we also have those. Well met, brother. Cheers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I will take 3 of your finest plants, sir. Now
Uh-huh.
listen. I'm doing good. You're doing good. It's cold as hell in the country.
Yeah, it ain't that cold here in
Well,
Chattanooga right now. I can tell you that. It's okay.
well, you're
Um,
used to snow.
Look at this guy.
We,
There he
yeah.
is.
He doesn't seem to care. I mean, most
You
of,
don't care. We don't care. No, we good. We good here at the Sanctum Bucarum here. We're
yeah.
good. It's not that cold. I'm probably gonna go to the Y and do a little laps and what have you. Kind of get my fit on today. But you're cold in New Orleans. Is what you were telling me.
Well, dude, yeah, I mean, we're not used to cold at all. If it gets below, 30 degrees, everybody freaks out, doesn't even go to work. So, um,
Y'all don't have insulation either. I know because when I
we
lived
don't,
there, I didn't have insulation either.
the only salt on the roads is from margaritas.
Yeah, see that? No, there is. Chewbacca's just happened. Y'all had
Yeah, I know,
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca's, if you go on that road, you're fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Um,
You're good.
yeah, the parades are started. Everything is,
That pink
going
Wookie,
on.
dude. The pink Wookie. That's my
Yeah.
favorite, dude. The pink
Yeah.
Wookie. Yeah.
I have friends at work that were running around Chewbacca, said it was good, said
Mhm.
it was cold.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure. Yeah.
okay, so this is going to be just a little episode
Mhm.
here where I get to ask you some questions. We talk about some of your classes and
Well,
stuff. We're going to be doing these, so that's good.
yeah. I did a class that was interesting. Just to kind of hop in. Yeah, I did a class on mental, sending thoughts and receiving thoughts. Intro to telepathy at Sticks and Stones. Yes, and they did a wonderful illustration for me of two small children with colanders on their heads. So thanks, guys, for that one, which
Yeah,
was cute. It
thanks.
was just cute sending. Yeah, they're like, "Wah,". Um, the class itself is great because we don't really try to sit in a structured way and get this done and work with other people that we can open up like a flower that's like at a bud stage and then actually open that up and open your mind up. So part of what the schematics and the structure of it is I teach people how to open up their head chakra. First, protect your crown chakra so that when way no bugaboos are getting in during the telepathic process, and then open up your head chakra and let's receive things. So it was a
Indeed.
lot of food projecting to people.
Okay. Okay.
So and why is that? Because it's like I don't know if you tried to sit and actually grab thoughts out of people's minds because you're just
Right.
you do now. You could correct me if you're wrong because you've been around for a minute. You're not a spring chicken. But I have in my job tried to sit and actually like grab stuff out of people's head because they're paying me to do it. So
Yeah.
right. So but you are just plugged into a lot of stuff happening around you. So you're just kind of sailing the seas of
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah. I mean, I receive a lot of different
Hmm.
things,
Hmm.
and you can play the games with like playing cards. We play at home, like, what card do I have? And
Yeah.
my wife's
Oh,
better
there you
at it than
go.
I am.
Yeah.
She's better at it
As
than
we
I am, well,
know,
because
your wife,
she's
who
psychic.
is amazing, is very, very
Right.
psychic. And yeah,
Yeah. So I
yeah,
mean, I don't do as well. My son's even better than me. More on
right,
that even a little later.
right.
But
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. On top of
sure.
that, right. Yeah.
Um, okay. So for the layman or for cousin
Mhm.
Joey, what is telepathy, and how do
It's
you get yourself in that
sending,
state?
receiving thoughts, projecting intentions or directions through mental projection. No speaking, just simply using your mind to send thoughts or receive thoughts or take thoughts. Maybe not so scrupulously. Sometimes taking thoughts. So I
Right.
did share a little bit about in my early 20s, how, I would try to get to the front of the line in a concert. So I would like project that maybe I was on fire or something, so people would want to move out of the way so I could get to the front of the line.
That would work well for Firewalker. I could do that.
Oh, right. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Or I
that's
had
okay.
spikes. I had spikes projecting out of me.
Right,
That gets
right.
aggressive. I
So,
remember when I was just trying to get to work at Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo, and I did that, and there was an old gentleman walking and he jumped out of the way. Right, he was like, oh, and he jumped in front of one of those horse and buggies, and he almost got hit by. So I had to not do that, and I stopped doing that. Yeah, that was
good for
a
you.
message
Yeah.
to not. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's not do that. But I was just trying to explain what the premise is, and maybe
Sure.
you're in an interview, and you're just trying to project that I know how to do this job, and that I'm well versed in it. And sometimes you get your thoughts are muddled, or you look like crap, or what have you, and then this way you could just literally tell the person like, hey, I got this, like I can do it.
Right.
So that's it.
Right.
So it was a great class. I it's funny, like someone's projecting fish and chips, the only thing the person gets is the coleslaw.
Right. Okay. Right. Right.
But they got the food, they got the coleslaw though,
Right.
right? So
Close
all
enough.
right.
You got it. Yeah, yeah, B plus. That's still good. All right. Let me ask you
Or
this.
I was doing meatloaf and I was like, and I'm like, oh, and it's got a nice glaze on it, and oh yeah, and the glaze is coming over, and oh,
And
you
they
get
say
that when
ketchup.
the oven's got it's glistening, and they're like,
Right.
there's a lot of sauce going on.
Right. Yeah. Ketchup.
There's a
I see
lot of
ketchup.
sauce. There's
Right.
G Love and special sauce happening,
Yeah.
like so.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Good band, by the way. Just side note. Okay. So a
True,
question I
true,
have for you.
true,
Yeah.
true statement. Yeah.
Can you? What would you say to somebody who says telepathy is pseudoscience and it's not real? Like,
Well, what
there's a
I
lot of people
say to
like,
that
oh,
person, I would say
yeah,
to that person, if we're trying to debunk everything that synchronicity is around us, every coincidence around us, you're much more of a zealot than I am, because there is scientific evidence, and there are people that I get messages that I cannot on a daily basis, on an hourly basis from people, and I don't know where they're. I do know that I have guides and things that are helping me get it, but there's no possible way
right.
that someone that I said I have a food item, I'm sending it to you,
Hmm.
and they say coleslaw, like
Right. Yeah.
like it could be anything. It could be
Right.
it could be ozamaki. It could be it could be like fucking bouillabaisse. It could be coleslaw, like where.
Right.
So
Sure. I
even
mean,
if
this.
it's only
Right.
there's three elements in the dish. One's fried fish, one's fried, but chips, and then the other one is coleslaw and a
Yeah.
lemon. I mean, if
There
you
you
pull
go.
that out of thin air, there's
Right.
something to that. I
Yeah.
think that's if we put that under the microscope of the odds that,
Right.
like when and then we're just getting into all extrasensory. You can't
Sure.
just isolate telepathy. Like when I do tarot readings for people and they pull the same card twice. So
Right.
they pull the seven of cups
Right.
inverted twice. So we have
Yeah.
to look at that in two ways. We have to look at that as A, there's 78 cards. B, to pull the same card twice. That's one out of 78
Right.
possibilities of
Twice.
doing that. Then you have
Right.
to take that and double it,
Right.
because they pulled it upside down twice,
Right.
which is
So you're
saying
looking.
something very specific, that they're not able to release their hold on being sequestered and not being able to open themselves up to their dreams and
Right.
imaginations and what
Sure.
could be. They're
Right.
literally getting in their own way of their own fantasies and
Right.
their
Well,
own,
you.
like, joy.
So you're saying, I mean, obviously the spirit, the universe, between minds. There's a idea about brainwave synchronization. Even if me and you
Mhm.
at the same time just say dope, we're like jinx. You know what I mean? Even when we were kids, when you say something at the same time as someone else, you think it's this funny moment, right? And that is
Oh.
brainwave synchronization. That is telepathy, even when you're not trying.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So
So like we,
it exists on minor levels. It exists on major levels. There's
right?
so much research behind it. So
Yeah,
just saying it's hacky science or
right,
pseudoscience is like, all
right.
right, well, so was cardiology back in the 400
Sure.
years ago. Yeah.
Right. And that goes into
200,
some of the
two
stuff
hundred
that,
years ago, it was
sure,
pseudoscience.
dude, there was a
200
lot
years
of,
ago.
yeah, there
200
was a
years
lot of stuff
ago,
that was pseudoscience 15 years ago. It's always pseudoscience until it isn't anymore.
uh,
So, yeah,
Qigong was considered, when I
right.
started to look into Qigong, it was like the mid 90s. And it was considered like some quackery cuckoo nonsense. Okay.
That's a good
Right
name for a
now,
store,
it's
though.
highly
Crackly
respected
cuckoo. Yeah,
as a
yeah.
form of healing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we look at all the subtle energies that metaphysicians use and
Yeah.
mystics use, and
Yeah.
we, like you say, sailing the waves of cheese. I mean, just being
Seas of cheese. Seas of cheese.
seas.
Yeah.
Sorry, and that's that that whole thing, man. Reiki,
Uh
energy
huh.
work,
Uh huh.
all
Yeah.
of these. What's in the mind? What can be shared? Now,
Sure.
that's this is my question: is why is it so? It's like people don't want this stuff to be real because it's like, okay, what's the collective power of telepathy,
Well, it's
right?
frightening. It's frightening to
Right,
think that someone could come in and tell you that there's Madagascar hissing roaches crawling out of your chair when they're not,
right,
and
right,
make you like have a freak out. Right.
right. So
Like that's
it's a
scary.
loss of control, maybe loss of control. Okay, so
Well,
what?
how are you supposed to battle that? And half
Right,
of my class was how to battle that
right,
in
okay,
particular. How to
right,
shut your head chakra down. Like you have
right.
two massive like metal doors, like just locking. And then there's, if you ever seen a bank vault with it has all the locks, like and
Yeah, yeah,
clicking shut, and like that's it.
right.
Like your
That's
hand,
a
like this, like that's it. Like it's like you're not, no one's getting in there
that's a
because you're.
good visualization. That's
Well,
a
thank you.
that,
I'm good with those.
I
Yeah.
like that.
So
Well,
you're
and that's
telling you're
and that's
telling your subconscious
right.
what to do. You know.
Right. I think there's something about these processes in general about energy work
Mhm.
that seem so
Uh-huh.
mysterious to the world that's just the waking consciousness, just like what you see every day,
Mhm.
because we don't teach
Yeah.
it in school. You know what I mean? It's always like a
Right.
side note in
Right.
a bookstore. You got to go to a specific bookstore, really,
Right.
just to find information about spiritual attunement. Like you
Right.
can't even, you know what I'm saying? Like we're told that our whole thing is just a complete fabrication and it's all always been a trick. You know what I'm saying? It's always been
I think
just
that's becoming less and less of a mainstay thought right now.
I hope so. And I mean that's kind of like why we want to talk about this publicly and say these are our experiences
Right.
and have people because we have people on, they have an experience, they're telling
Uh-huh.
us like it's power in numbers. It's a
Right.
collective information session. And I think that's a dope thing. There's another thing I want to ask you about because you know how they do those telepathy cards, the one
Hmm.
has the squiggly lines, the one
Well,
has a
anyone that's
star.
seen Ghostbusters has seen Bill Murray
Right,
shock the young dude, the young like
right.
nerdy dude,
Yeah,
and then the cute girl is getting it wrong, and he's like, "Oh my god, are you like, what's going on? Is this running your family?" Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right.
We all
And
know. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that whole like those cards are something people could play with and just
Mhm.
see. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? You can
Yeah.
always build up. It's like working out a muscle, right? If you don't use it, it doesn't have any power to it, but you can really work those things. And that's something else that they're doing now
Well,
with
I
the
say this a lot when people ask me about these things, and I say, okay, were you born with the blah, blah, badoo? Were you born? Well, yeah, yeah. We all have a bit of when we're born. I have more than a whole lot of people. However, you know, um, I've snowboarded before, right?
right,
But I'm not Shaun White, the Olympic snowboarder.
right.
And if you've
Yeah.
seen me snowboard, oh my God, it was a dumpster fire.
I'd like to film it and
It
then put
was,
it on the show.
my
I would
face
like to.
was doing more snowboarding than my feet were, and
Yeah, yeah.
well, okay, so but the point, it wasn't, well, it was pretty bad. The
I
point
bet it was.
is,
Yeah.
if I practice more, I would obviously do better at snowboarding. So
Right,
anybody could snowboard, but some people are very good at it.
right.
That's my point. Is that
Yeah, sure. I mean, some people have a
yeah.
natural gift, but a gift,
Uh-huh.
it's something that anybody has because we're all the same, like we're all the
Yeah.
same, right? So we all have the
No.
same capacity, and the same possibility, right? Some of us
Yeah.
are in incarnations where
Yeah.
we just came in like, this is extrasensory perception turned on. You know what I'm saying? Like some
Sure.
of us, the switches are turned on, but the switches are in everyone. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point, I think, we're
There are,
trying
but
to
you
make.
have to make a conscious effort to do them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. You gotta
I
try.
talked to my brother-in-law about how, like, my sister, and he's like, oh, when your sister wants to work out, she can build muscle mass and lose weight like immediately. And I'm like, yeah.
Right.
And so he's like insinuating that's the same for you. You just
Right.
have to do it.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, but that,
It
you
works
have to do
differently
it.
for everybody. Not everybody
You
has the
have
same
you have to do it.
metabolism on it. Yeah.
And the last thing people want to do pretty much all the time is spiritual anything. That's the
Well, it's
last
just
thing they think of a lot of the
it
time.
kind of seems like we've become such a productive society
Hmm.
that we're not an intuitive society. You
No,
know what I'm saying? Like
no.
we
What you
we
want to
spend
do is
most of our time.
pragmatic. It's got to be
Yeah.
practical. Like, why am I
What's the
wasting my
use for
time
it, right? Yeah. Right.
on
But what I
something
mean,
ephemeral?
okay, well, for you, obviously, the use for you is because you do it for work. I do it for work. I sit in a place all the time, and I'm, dealing with all these energies and spiritual things that some people think it's real, some people think I'm a weirdo. I mean, both are true.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. So there's that. Yeah,
Both are true.
yeah.
Both are true. But yeah, I mean, whatever, dude.
Mhm.
Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about, maybe we'll get someone on that knows more about this. At some point, we can lead it out here. But also the telepathy tapes that became a thing over the last little while, with nonverbal autistic children, being able to communicate. I don't know if it's fake
Because
or
it's
real.
the feeling is safer. People that are led by their feelings and emotions can communicate their their thoughts and ideas through that telepathic energy wavelength of their
Sure.
emotional vibration and just send it out. And that almost would come maybe not from your head chakra, but from your heart chakra. And it's still so. I think when people are receiving these messages from someone who has an autistic challenge or something of that nature, they're probably receiving more empathic information than specific intellectual
Sure.
information.
I mean, and
That's
one
my
could say
takeaway. That's my
challenge.
takeaway.
Look, yeah, and I think that, the autistic frequency can be a challenge in a neurotypical world, but can also just be, its own existence in a neurodiverse world. And depending on how that's all going to
Sure,
shake out, we'll
sure,
see.
yeah,
We'll see. But the thing I wanted to
right,
talk about, maybe if we can get someone
yeah.
on, is what the nonverbal children can do when they're given technology to communicate, and how that could even relate to the telepathy tapes, but also just relate to the fact that there is communication. It's just not in a neurotypical way, and it can be done through electronics. It could be done through uh, the spirit, through emotions, empathic stuff, like you said. So I think that's a whole other realm to talk about. But anyway, we'll
We,
get
you
into
know,
that
we
another
are
time.
we are exploring that.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
are doing that, but it's like that one specialist who has them. We are. I am. I'm gonna circle back with my friend Sandy, and who does the work with expressing yourself through Legos and whatnot. And those there are people that work with that are doing
right.
that
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
The
yeah.
problem is how widely accepted is it, and how many people are going to say, "Hey, little Billy, I'd love to know how you're feeling today. Why don't you
Right,
want to go to school? And here's some Legos, and tell me with Legos." I
right.
don't know. Like I don't.
Yeah,
Why aren't we
I
all
get that.
why aren't we all using alternate modalities to figure that out?
Right, and I
We
I
got
think
to
those
hire
are
some specialists. We got to
yeah,
go down some road and call somebody in Sedona who works with like fig leaves to do I like who knows what, like so if it was widely accepted, then maybe we'll all be working with these alternate modalities to
sure.
explore that. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll
Hopefully.
both look into that, and maybe we'll get an episode on with some of those ideas. But anyway, I just
That would
wanted
be
to
great.
ask you
Yeah.
about telepathy and to get your thoughts on that. If any of you out there do have some experience with telepathy, questions about it, questions about other things you want us to discuss topically on these little episodes, let us know. Like, subscribe, all of the good stuff. And
Like and
thank you for being
subscribe,
here.
and yeah, ask us a
Let's
question
build the
if there's
channel.
something you'd want us to address.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've run across it, and firewalkers run across it as well at some point. So
Yeah.
lot of interesting moments in our lives. There's a kaleidoscope of spiritual things that happen all the time here between the two of
Yes,
us.
indeed, sir. Yes, indeed. Yes. All right. Goodbye. Walking the Crossroads signing off. Thank you, Mr. Darren Bucare.
All right. We'll see you again next time, guys. All right. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.